timekeeper, Mr. Chief Judge. Can we proceed? Very much. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome our second speaker, Eric Vigi, with his speech titled, 50% of asking questions is listening to the answer. 50% of asking questions is listening to the answer. Eric Vigi!
I went to Las Vegas on a conference. What happens in Vegas? Goes on YouTube. I came back from Vegas. My wife said, what happened in Vegas? Have you ever asked a question you should not be asking? According to Esther Perel, 95% of people say it is wrong to lie about cheating. That's about 2 people in this room think it's wrong to lie about, that it's right to lie about cheating, right? 95% of people who cheat lie about cheating. Maybe it's a different 95%. The problem is that if I even hint at what might allegedly have happened or not have happened in Vegas, and I'm not admitting anything. The first thing we have to do is we have to call the divorce lawyer, split up the assets, and you get the children next weekend, and I'm free. So why would I tell the truth? Why would I? One word, Cosmopolitan magazine. Because Cosmopolitan magazine said it's not the cheating that the women hate, it's the lying. I thought maybe this was a question my wife did not want to ask, so I said, I gave her an out. What do you mean what happened in Vegas? She said, you know what I mean, what happened in Vegas. I said, okay, I'll tell you what happened in Vegas. I kissed a girl in Vegas. I kissed a girl and I liked it. Hey, grumpy. Did not like the answer. I said, must I lie? She says, no, I don't want you to lie, but I don't want you to cheat either. You see, we don't listen to the answer to the question. We think we want to hear the answer we want to hear, but in fact we do not see the world as Anais Nin says. We do not see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. Isn't that right? So I'm going home, and I'm listening to my podcast on the radio, and the woman has been caught flirting with her ex-boyfriend on Facebook. And her husband finds out. That's what caught being means, right? And he asked a question. He said, what does he give you, my darling, that you don't get from me? That is a great question. And she said, I closed my Facebook account right then, and I never went on Facebook again. I thought that is, I'm a facilitator, questions are important to me. You have to ask the right question. I thought that is a great question. And I got home and my wife was in the bath with her iPhone. And she saw me, she put the iPhone away. And she said, I've been all afternoon with my friend Marita drinking wine and talking about sex. Now, I was born in the morning, but not yesterday morning, so I poured her a glass of wine. And I said, I've noticed that recently we've been having quite a lot more sex than we usually have. She said, you noticed that? I said, yes, I noticed that. We guys notice this sort of subtle thing. I said, what's happening? She says, no, nothing. I said, what's happening? Come on. She says, no, you always said, Eric, sex is important. We should prioritize it in a relationship. I said, you're right. I'm glad you decided to do that. What made you do this? She said, I've been flirting with an ex-boyfriend on Facebook. So I asked the question, right? What is it that you get from him that you don't get from me? And she said, with him I feel desirable. It's a great question until you have to listen to the answer. With you I can't feel desirable, you married me, you are contractually obliged to love me. You've got a ring and everything. But if you listen to the answer, it's not, I don't love you anymore. It's not, I want to leave you. It's just, I feel desired. She says, I'm a middle-aged woman, I'm a little bit overweight, I've had 3 children, this man wants me for me. You have to want me because 65%, according to Chris Donahue, 65% to 75%, that's 2/3 to 3/4 of people for the non-bankers here, of heterosexual monogamous couples will be touched by infidelity. That means they have cheated, they are cheating, or they will cheat. I just lost eye contact with 2/3. 3/4 actually. And you know, Cosmopolitan magazine doesn't tell you what you say after you tell the truth, does it? Nobody covers that. We went on not one, but 2 marriage preparation courses. Did they say, you will probably, one of you or both of you at some point will cheat? Did they say that? They did not. So we were in uncharted territory. And we decided we were going to tell each other the truth. We were going to listen to the answers. And let me tell you, that has been liberating, and it has been exhilarating, and it has been terrifying. Because we had to work out, what does this marriage mean? We've been married for 12, 14 years now. What does it mean to be married? What does it mean to cheat? No, I'm serious. What does it mean to cheat? Now, have you had a conversation like that? Very difficult to listen to the answer. I said to my wife, I said, you're going to leave me for this guy? She said, don't be ridiculous, this is in Boksburg. The commute is impossible. And anyway, his house is too small. I said, you have thought about this in a distressing amount of detail. She said to me, I want to stay married to you. And that is an answer that I could listen to. Because if 50% of asking questions is listening to the answer, the other 50% is believing it. Mr. Contest.